Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2020 and welcome once again to the PMDG B738 and today, as you can see, we're at a lovely, misty, rainy, cloudy East London airport in South Africa, and we're going to be flying SJT today, our Safair Boeing 737-800 from here at East London to Cape Town, so probably about a 2-hour flight. And so yeah, that's the plan for today's flight. The weather obviously isn't great, but it's not the rain and the visibility that's concerning me the most. It's the wind that's gusting up to 30 knots. So I have to be pretty careful on takeoff. Weather in Cape Town looks misty, but no rain. So I'm actually using historic weather. This happened the other day, early in the morning. So I'm using that historic weather because that's the time when this flight actually operated. And we are Safair 151 today. So as always, when flying the 737, I've got FS to crew for our crew simulation, SLC for our passenger and cabin crew simulation, which is self-floating cargo. And then I also am running Beyond ATC for our ATC simulation. Unfortunately, Beyond ATC still picks up the Safair call sign as cargo instead of Safair, so we'll be cargo 151 today with ATC, but not the end of the world, just something to be aware of. I do know that the Safair passenger flights use Safair as their call sign. Right, what else is there to mention? I think that's it. We can basically jump aboard and start getting things set up. So I am using SOP2, FS to Crew's SOP2 for the 737, and so we'll let him know that we are ready to start setting up, and then he'll go outside and do the walk around in the rain while we start getting the cockpit set up. Let's start setting up.
Roger.
Right, so first things first, battery, emergency lights. I am going to set us up on ground power just because going straight to APU messes with SLC. Okay, obviously we are using stairs today, so that's all good. And we'll get all of our load information from the Simbrief flight plan. So now we have this, we can flip that on, and then we can start getting things set up. So I'm just going to go through the flight deck procedure, and then we'll start our passengers boarding and stuff like that. So batteries on, electric hydraulics off, landing gear lever down, flaps set. Let's just check that all the hardware stuff syncs up. Okay, so that looks good. Right, then we come down here. Oh, emergency lights I did do, yes. We come down here and we can do our tests. Right, so we'll just do all of these, make sure that all of those are happy, and we can do cargo as well. Perfect. Then we come up here, voice recorder comes on, flight director test, that light extinguishes, which I think is cool. These we can test. These we probably can't because we haven't had power long enough to the aircraft, so that's fine. Flip these over to nav, make sure that that's extinguished, which it is, and that's all good. Right, I think that's all we need for now. We can turn on some lights here because it is pretty dark. It's nice early morning, and also it is cloudy. Although it seems a little bit... Hey, we have a gap in the clouds there. We'll see when we get to Cape Town. That mist will likely have burnt off by the time we get there, but anything's possible. Right, we've done all of that, so let's get our cabin crew and passengers, cabin crew on board to start prepping for our passengers when they are ready.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Microphone check is 5 out of 5.
Okay, Captain. Radio check is complete. We'll contact you when we're ready to start loading.
Roger. Hello.
Hi, Captain. How are you?
Hi there. I'm okay today, thanks.
Great. We're just preparing the cabin for the passengers. We'll speak to the terminal staff once the door is opened and find out how long they think it'll be until boarding begins.
No worries. You can open the doors whenever you're ready.
No problem.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
Hi there. We're now refueling the aircraft and we'll let you know once it's completed.
Roger.
Right, so here we have another call.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Okay, I've spoken to security, and I'm told they'll be ready to send the passengers down to us in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Ground to cockpit.
No problem at all.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Just a quick update to let you know that we've started loading. We'll contact you again once we're done.
Roger.
Hi, Captain. Fueling has been completed.
Roger.
Right, so we have our fuel loaded from Simbrief, we've got our payload loaded from Simbrief, and we've got our flight plan loaded as well. I'm just going to set up all the other stuff. So I'm going to turn these on now because we're done fueling, and I'm going to start up the APU
Cockpit to ground.
because it's pretty cold. I mean, what is it?
Go ahead.
Just under 20, so it's not terrible.
We're starting the
But,
APU. Please stand by as we'll be disconnecting from ground power shortly.
Let's get some
Roger. We'll monitor
air
the startup
conditioning
from
running.
down here and let you know if we see anything untoward.
Roger.
so that at least it's comfortable once the passengers start boarding. Why is that? Oh, okay.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
APU startup seems good. Nothing to report.
Disconnect ground power, please.
Roger. Stand by, please.
So they're a little bit early on that.
Ground power has been disconnected.
See,
Roger.
just a bit. It doesn't actually affect it because they don't actually disconnect the GPU, but still. Okay, cool, that's all done. That has 3.8. We're supposed to be doing 3.6, which is weird. So now let's go and do this. So we're gonna have to import. We can do that from OFP, but it's not gonna do anything. We're doing 6. Runway, we'll say wet. Import from the aircraft. That looks okay. And then weather, we are 70 at 22. Should probably just double check all of this. Okay, 70 at 21 now. It is currently 17 and 1019. Let's calculate that. Wow, and this is now, when I checked this earlier, we were at 64. We've now dropped to 60. And if we do a pax off takeoff? Okay, we have to do a pax off takeoff. At flaps 25. Wow, I've never had this out of East London. Why? That's crazy. Hang on. That's why. This runway 6 is the short one. So we want 1-1. Wow. Okay, that's gonna make a huge difference. Let's see, we should be fine now. Okay. Geez, that's better. Flaps 5, 43 degrees. And 36, 39, 45. So 43. Flaps 5.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. The passengers are ready to come on board. Are we okay to get started?
Yes, you can start boarding if you're ready.
No worries. I'll get the rest of the crew organized and we'll make a start in a couple of minutes once the passengers start arriving from the terminal.
Okay, now I forgot. 36, 39, 45. Okay, so we're doing 11. There is no SID. We're arriving on 19. And let's just see. See, it planned runway 6 for us. That's random. What is our star? Get in 1 Bravo. Okay, that's all done. That's done. And that is done. Cool. Okay, this we will get obviously from ATC.
Hi, the security and safety checks are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Go for it.
Thanks.
Okay, so probably a good time now to go ahead and get our ATC clearance so we can then plan for our departure brief. This should be 1019. Cool. So Ground Cargo 151, request IFR clearance to Cape Town.
Cargo 151, Alpha Oscar ground, expect runway 06. Climb 6,000 feet on runway centerline, then expect radar vectors as fog. Squawk 3651.
Expect runway 6, climb 6,000 feet, runway heading, and then radar vectors to SBOG, squawk 3651, cargo 151.
Cargo 151, read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Call you back, cargo 151. Okay, interesting. So, because Simbrief Plan 6, Beyond ATC is going to give us runway 6, and there's no way to change that yet. So, I think we should give ourselves a challenge. Why am I doing this? And do runway 6. And it'll be a packs off, flaps 25 takeoff. Oh, that doesn't work now. It was fine with it before.
No issues on the walk around.
Oh, there we go. Flaps 25. Okay, so we're going to come back here and redo all of this. Okay, so selected temperature. We don't have. So what, do we just leave that blank, I suppose? Cool.
Glide slope.
And it would be takeoff. Cool.
Wind shear.
Then
Wind
it's
shear.
flaps 25.
Terrain.
Which I've never done before. That's why I'm actually interested to try this. 26, 29,
Sink
39.
rate. Pull up.
126,
Terrain. Pull
29,
up.
39.
Don't sink.
That's going to be interesting.
Don't
But
sink.
this is wrong
Too
now,
low.
so
Terrain.
this is probably going
Too
to
low. Gear.
stuff everything up again.
Too low. Flaps.
Yeah, I thought so.
Too low. Terrain. Glide slope.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Right.
25.
3.5 on the trim,
1,000.
which means we're actually trimming nose down. I don't
100.
think I've ever done that.
50. 30. 20.
Why can't I go
10.
any more than that?
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
Crazy,
Too
okay,
low.
that's the best I
Terrain.
can do.
Caution.
Okay, so that's going to be interesting.
Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
Rain is getting worse, for sure. There's absolutely no daylight out there. Well, no open sky at all like we had earlier. Right, we've got a couple other checks to do, like this. Cool. And then 1 and 2. Let's come up here and complete these checks now. Cool. Then we can turn on the yaw damper because the IRS is now aligned. And we check normal and auto. Fuel pumps are on. Crossfeed.
Go ahead.
Loading has been completed. We're sending the load sheet up to you now. We're waiting for you to close up. Once the beacon light is switched on, we'll contact you to begin pushback.
Roger.
Okay, fuel pumps are on, crossfeed is set. Normally just pop this over to the APU. Oh, we are still receiving ground power for some reason. So we can go and get rid of that. Since we are done with it now anyway. Right. Window heats can come on. We leave the probe heats as they are. These can come on. This should be 36. And landing in Cape Town. What is it, 150? Cape Town is 151. That's pretty close. Okay, trim air is on. Auto, 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 open, and auto, and all on. Right, logo lights is on, that's good. Wing lights, steady, anti-collision off, that's all good. Ignition, today is the 8th, so we go right. Okay, reset the fuel flow. Come down here and reset that and set this to RTO. Speed brake lever should be down, which it is. Take up config warning. Checked. Cutoff and normal. Transponder is standby, but I didn't set the code. We were 3651.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Okay, here's the load sheet from ground. I've written the passenger count here, the crew count here, and the total number of souls, not including yourselves, here.
Thanks.
Okay, looks like we're all set to go whenever you're ready.
Okay, great. You can close the doors whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll let the crew know and we'll get closed up as soon as we can.
Cool, they're done. We still have to do the departure briefing.
Are you ready for departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, no pushback. Start on the start. Taxi route will be assigned by ATIS. It'll be a left seat takeoff, using rated thrust, planning flaps 25 takeoff. We will configure for a non-standard bleed-off takeoff. Anti-ice will be. We are over our maximum landing rate, so if we are able, we will hold and burn off fuel before returning to the air. Okay, all going well. The departure routing will be via the ATC assigned SID, complying with all published speeds and altitude restrictions. No noise abatement procedure. B-nav is out. Flight directors are on. Mine is master, yours is slave. Navigation radios are set. No times and the aircraft defect log have been reviewed. The current weather poses a threat. We won't rush any procedures today. Any questions, comments or concerns?
No questions.
Departure brief complete.
So interestingly, this taxiway doesn't exist anymore. It might be there in the scenery, I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see. Beyond ATC should give us alpha and backtrack to 06. And our heading should be 064.
Hi guys, here's the load sheet for you.
Thank you.
No problem, have a safe flight.
Safety inspection checklist and before start checklist to the line.
Safety inspection checklist. Surfaces and jobs.
Checked.
Maintenance status.
Checked.
Battery.
On.
Electrical hydraulic pumps.
On.
Landing gear lever.
Down.
Ship's library.
Checked.
Safety inspection checklist completed. IRS motor.
Now.
Gear pins.
Set and checked.
Probe covers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 removed.
Light test.
Checked.
Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Yaw damper.
On.
Nav transfer and display switches.
Normal auto.
Fuel.
Set and checked.
Cabin utility IFE galley power.
On.
Emergency exit lights.
Armed.
Fasten belts.
On.
Window heat.
On.
Air conditioning and pressurization.
Set and checked. Pax auto bleeds on set.
Pressurization. Mode selector.
Auto.
Instruments.
Cross-checked.
Auto brake.
RTO. RTO.
Hydraulics.
Normal.
Speed brake.
Down detent.
Parking brake.
Set.
Stabilizer trim cut out. Switched.
Normal.
Wheel well fire warning.
Checked.
Radios, radar and transponder.
Set and standby.
Rudder and aerolock trims.
Free and 0.
Takeoff briefing.
Discussed.
PA.
Complete.
FMC and CDU.
Set.
N1 and indicated airspeed bugs.
Set and checked.
Stabilizer trim.
Set and checked.
Performance, weight and balance.
Signed and sent.
Signed and sent. Phones.
Off.
Off. Electronic flight bag.
Airplane mode and stowed.
Airplane mode and stowed. Flight deck windows and cockpit door.
Locked.
Doors.
Closed.
Passengers.
Seated.
Before start checklist to the line completed.
Good morning from the cockpit, this is your captain speaking. I'd like to welcome you on board this morning's flight to Cape Town. We're currently preparing for departure up here in the cockpit, and once we're airborne we'll be climbing to our cruise level of 36,000 feet. We're not anticipating any delays, so we hope to be underway very shortly. The cabin crew will start securing the cabin once the aircraft has pushed back from the stand. As we make our way to the departure runway, please make sure you're seated and secured as they make their way around the aircraft. The weather is not looking particularly brilliant, so it might be a little uncomfortable at times as we climb to our cruise level. There's nothing to worry about, just make sure you keep an eye on the seatbelt sign and I'll turn it off once we're in clearer air. Once we're airborne, there shouldn't be any issue during our climb. It's a pretty straightforward departure out of the airport, so nothing to worry about there. It looks as though the en route winds are in our favour, so there shouldn't be any issue getting to our destination on time. However, we will keep you informed throughout the flight if it changes. If you could get yourself seated and secured in the meantime, we'll be able to make a departure as soon as everything is ready. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the flight.
Cleared to close long taxi. Before start checklist below the line.
Before start checklist below the line. Air conditioning packs.
Off.
Air conditioning packs.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
Call me when you require pushback.
We won't require pushback today, so feel free to get disconnected whenever you're ready.
We're ready to disconnect.
Thanks very much for your help. Pin straight ahead and we'll see you again soon.
Off.
Anti-collision light.
On.
Parking brake.
Set.
Transponder.
Alt off.
Before start checklist below the line completed.
Start sequence is 2, then 1.
Check.
Start engine 2.
Starting engine 2. Oil pressure. Starter cutout. Number 2 stable.
Probably should have requested startup from ATC. Whoops. Ground cargo 151. Request startup only.
Cargo 151. Startup approved. Call when ready for taxi.
Call when ready. Cargo 151. Start engine 1.
Starting engine 1. Oil pressure. Starter cutout. Number 1 stable.
I don't actually know how many clicks it is because I've never set the flaps to 25 for takeoff. That's 15. No, that's 15. That's 25. Wow. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Flight controls check.
Ready.
Full left. Full right. Center. Full up. Full down. Center. Full left. Full right. Center. Flight controls check complete. Okay, so we've been through most of the stuff. The weather does seem to be getting worse. I'm very, very interested to do a different takeoff. In the 10 years that I've been flight simming, it's probably more than that actually, but I don't think I've ever done a flaps 25 takeoff in a 737, so gonna be very cool. Before taxi checklist. Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Generators.
On.
APU.
Off.
Start switches.
Continuous.
Probe heat.
On.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Air conditioning.
Pax auto bleeds on.
Isolation valve.
Auto.
Flaps.
25 required, 25 selected, green light.
Stabilizer trim.
Set and checked.
Start levers.
Idle detent.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Recall.
Checked.
Before taxi checklist completed.
Clear left.
Clear right.
Cargo 151, request taxi.
Cargo 151, runway 06 taxi via Alpha.
Runway 06, taxi via Alpha, cargo 151. Okay, so he didn't mention the taxiway that doesn't exist. So I guess we hold short of Alpha, and then he should give us backtrack instruction. Sorry dude, but you're gonna get ingested. Actually probably just gonna squash you with a nose wheel first.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Everyone's seated and secured for takeoff.
You can take your seats now. We're almost ready.
No problem.
Cargo 151, contact King Fellow Tower 118.3.
Ah, Tower will give us backtrack. That makes way more sense. 118.3, cargo 151. Before takeoff checklist to the line.
Before takeoff checklist to the line. Config.
Checked.
Flaps.
25-25 green lights.
Stabilizer trim.
Set and checked.
Takeoff briefing.
Reviewed.
Holding air cabin.
Secure.
Holding air cabin. Cabin.
Secure.
Before takeoff checklist to the line completed.
Tower, good day. Cargo 151, ready for departure.
Cargo 151, backtrack runway 06. Call when ready for departure.
Backtrack runway 06, cargo 151. Cool, got it right. Approach is clear on the left.
Approach is clear on the right.
Before takeoff checklist below the line.
Stand by. Before takeoff checklist below the line. MCP. Cabin crew seats for departure.
Set. Set and checked.
Transponder.
TARA.
Strobe lights.
On.
Landing lights.
On.
Before takeoff checklist, below the line completed, stabilised.
See, now that's a little disappointing because this is the add-on scenery and it has that taxiway there which doesn't actually... Well, unless it is still there in real life, it's just closed. So, meaning we can still see it, just can't go on it. But then, yes, okay, so it does have the markings to say it's closed. Okay, that's cool then. Visibility is not great either. At least we're taking off on this runway. I wouldn't land on this runway in this weather in a 737. I probably would avoid landing on this runway in a 737 anyway. Let alone low vis. Well, it's got no ILS, so it would be impossible. I mean, it has no instrument approaches at all for this runway as far as I remember. Hardly ever used this runway, so today is a bunch of firsts. First 25, no, flaps 25 takeoff. First time I'm taking off in a 737 on this runway, and first time I'm using this runway in several years. Cargo 151, ready for departure.
Cargo 151, Kingfellow Tower, wind 065 at 4, fly, heading 070, runway 06, cleared for takeoff.
Fly runway heading, correction, fly heading 070, runway 6, cleared for takeoff, cargo 151. Set takeoff thrust.
Takeoff thrust set, indications good. 80 knots. 80 knots. V1. Rotate. Rotate. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up.
Positive rate. Gear up. Heading select.
Cargo 151, contacting fellow departure 120.1.
120.1, cargo 151. Select autopilot on. Flaps 5.
Speed checked. Flaps 5.
Approach cargo 151, passing 3,400, climbing 6,000.
Checked.
Flaps up.
Cargo 151, Kingfellow departure identified. Climb to flight level 180.
Flight level 180, cargo 151. Set flight level 180.
151, turn left,
Flight level
280.
180 set. Flat side, no lights.
Left 280, cargo 151. After takeoff checklist.
Stand by. After takeoff checklist, air conditioning and pressurization 2.0 set. Altimeters.
Cabin crew, you're free to resume duty.
Passing 5,800 feet. Set and checked.
After takeoff checklist completed.
Cargo 151, turn left, heading 260.
Left to 260, cargo 151. Set standard.
Altimeters.
10 checks.
10 checks. Fuel 6. Pumps on. Lights. APU. Air conditioning and pressurization 4.4. Fasten belts. Happy to release the cabin?
Go for it.
Monitor 121.50 on VHF 2. Okay.
Good morning once again from the cockpit. I hope you're enjoying the flight so far. We're currently climbing up to our cruising altitude of 36,000 feet, so I thought I'd give you a quick update. We're expecting to arrive on time as planned. Progress is going very well. You'll next hear from me just before we start our descent. I'll be sure to keep you updated if anything changes, but in the meantime, please feel free to relax and take advantage of our onboard facilities. Thanks very much.
Okay, I mean that takeoff was pretty standard. Just felt like we rotated way quicker than usual because of the slower speed, but otherwise, laps 25 takeoff, pretty chilled. And now we're just waiting for approach to send us direct to SPOG, and then we'll be on our way. We're heading generally in the right direction.
151, clear direct to SPOG. Resume own navigation.
Direct to SPOG, cargo. Alright, that worked somehow. Anyway, there we go. Now my finger slipped off the transmit button.
Cargo 151, contact Cape Town Control East 124.7.
124.7, cargo 151. Good day. Cape Town Center, cargo 151, passing flight level 160 for flight level 180.
Cargo 151, Cape Town Control East. Good day, identified. Climb to flight level
Climb to flight level 360, cargo 151. Set flight level 360.
Flight level 360 set.
Right, there we are, cleared all the way up to our cruise altitude. As you can see, the weather is still pretty thick down there, but up here it's a pretty nice sunny morning. And we'll see how far this blanket of clouds extends, whether it reaches all the way to Cape Town. I'm not sure. There's some patches out there, or is that just the mountains sticking out through it? It might just be the tops of the mountains actually. But I think what we're going to do is do a bit of a cruise time lapse, and I'll see you guys again when it's time to prep for our descent. But first things first, let's see. Top of descent is at 6:53, which is 50 minutes from now. So we'll say we need to let the cabin crew have about 20 minutes notice. So that would be exactly 30 minutes from now. Right, I'll check in again with you when we prep for our descent into Cape Town. Okay, so we have a short while to go before we start our descent. So it's time to just go through all of our prep. You have control?
I have control.
Okay, so let's come here. And get in 1 Bravo, the airport, and then most importantly, ILS Zulu runway 19. Okay, 191 and 109.1. Set course on your side, 191. Set course on your side, 191.
191. Set.
Okay, 3,000 feet, but obviously we'll follow ATC instructions. Transition altitude 7.5. And we need to keep an eye on our speeds, because we will have restrictions. 250 and 210, which we've got in the FMC. 250 and 210. Awesome stuff. Okay, weather is way better than it was when we left East London. So Cape Town says 210 at 8 knots and visibility 10 plus. QNH 1016. It says Cav OK though, that doesn't seem right at all. So we'll see about that. Okay, let's prep our briefing. So, Star ILS landing. We're gonna do flaps 30, which I'll double check now. Bleeds, runway is dry. Auto brake 2, probably. We're going to a gate. APU, threats, weather, final sector, no. Right, then we come in here. And let's go. What am I looking for? This one. Minimums. This would be DH, so 200. Missed approach altitude 4,500. Final approach altitude fixed 3,000. Landing runway ID is 19. And this is KSI. Cool. Then let's go back to our performance. We want this one. Okay, wind 210 at 8. Temperature is 13, nice and cold. And 1016. Alright, plenty on auto brakes 2, flaps 30. And this would be on anyway. And auto brake 1. Basically the same thing. Let's do that. Okay, so flaps 30 and auto brake 1 with reverse. Cool, let's run that briefing.
Are you ready for the approach group?
Okay.
The arrival routine will be via the ATC assigned style, complying with all the published speed and altitude restrictions. For an ILS approach, planning the flaps 30 line. Final approach fixed altitude is 3,000 feet. Decision altitude is 200 feet. Missed approach altitude is 4,500 feet. Taxi route in will be assigned by ATC. We'll be arriving at a gate. The current weather poses a threat. We won't rush any procedures today. Descent speeds and navigation radios are set. Airport ratings are building in. Any questions, comments or concerns?
No questions.
Approach brief complete.
I have control.
You have control.
Right, so my setup is done. He'll now do his setup as well, auto brakes and stuff like that. And flaps 30 in the FMC. And we're coming up to our top of descent as well. Don't know how Cape Town can be cab okay. This cloud looks like it goes all the way there. Oh, we're probably just going to get a massive active sky update as we get closer and it's all going to disappear. That's probably what's going to happen. Right, let's call ATC. Cape Town Center, cargo 151, ready for descent.
Cargo 151, Cape Town Control East. Expect gate 1 Bravo, runway 19er.
Expect gate in 1 Bravo for runway 19er, cargo 151. Okay, well, they know we're ready for descent, so... we'll just have to wait for them to clear us down. It's weird, because...
151, gate 1 Bravo, runway 19er, descend to 3,000 feet, QNH1030.
Wow. All the way down to 3,000. Descend to 3,000 feet, QNH1030. Cargo 151. Set altitude 3,000. Oh, that's crazy. Straight down to the 3,000 feet. Where we intercept the ILS. We're not going to use QNH1030 from beyond ATC, obviously because I'm using historic weather. If Active Sky does do a massive update and just get rid of all of these clouds as we get near Cape Town, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. I haven't been using Active Sky for that long. I've done a couple of flights with it. So, yeah, a lot of people who are not enjoying it. And I think I might join that list if that's what it does. So our QNH would be 1016.
Good morning once again from the cockpit. As you've probably noticed, we've started our descent. We should be arriving in around 20 minutes depending on local air traffic, and I will shortly be instructing the cabin crew to get the cabin ready for our arrival. Once that happens, the seatbelt sign will be illuminated and you will be required to stay seated and secured until after landing. If you need to visit the toilet, it may be worth making your way towards one now. For now though, I will wish you a very good morning once again, and I'll speak to you in a short while once we've landed.
Descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Pressurization.
Set and checked.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Approach briefing and fuel.
Discussed.
Indicated airspeed and altimeter bugs.
Set and checked.
Descent checklist completed.
So yeah, looking at the weather on active sky, Cape Town's Cav okay. That's where I got that information from, that I put into the landing calculation and into the briefing. It says no reported clouds. I've loaded my flight plan from Simbrief, so it has all of that information. So I'm going to be a bit annoyed if all of this cloud suddenly just disappears. Unless it's just that conditions that are wrong, because looking at the map there's definitely clouds here. And over Cape Town, absolutely. So why does the METAR say no clouds? Oh. Looking at the map, the clouds end basically where we are right now. So yeah, I think in a couple of minutes it's gonna update and all the clouds are gonna disappear. Alright, but anyway, we are descending into Cape Town, so we'll just stay on the star. And then at some point, they will give us vectors once we make that right-hand turn. See how the star gets us to kind of over here, heading in this direction, and then this will join onto the ILS via ATC vectors. Okay, the clouds are definitely opening up a little bit. So we'll see. Maybe it just keeps clearing gradually like this. It could be pretty open by the time we get to Cape Town. We still got a way to go. What are we now? 17,000 feet. So it's about 44, 45 miles. Still can't believe that ATC cleared us from 36,000 feet down to 3,000. Yes, please.
Seatbelts on.
Cabin crew, prepare the cabin for landing.
That's cool. I don't remember him doing that before at 15,000 feet. Need to start slowing down a little bit shortly. We've got that diesel point, so that's good. Because this next waypoint is 250 knots, and then the one after that is 210. Okay, cool. Speed's coming down.
Cargo 151. Contact Cape Town approach 120.05.
120.05. Cargo 151. Approach Cargo 151, passing 11,500 feet. Descending 3,000.
Cargo 151, verified information level.
Just gonna say we have it because we're not using their weather. Information Bravo, Cargo 151.
Cargo 151 Cape Town approach. QNH 1030 expect radar vectors for ILS Zulu runway 19.
Radar vectors for ILS Zulu runway 19 at Cargo 151.
Negative. QNH 1030.
QNH 1030, Cargo 151. Okay, coming up to 10,000 feet. Just over the mountains here. And it is now clear. I didn't actually notice all the clouds disappear. Which is interesting. Must have been while I was talking to ATC.
Altimeters.
10 checks.
10 checks. Cabin crew.
I'll have to see it when I watch the recording back.
Pumps on lights. Angle of bank. Air conditioning and pressurization. 3.0. Fasten belts. Recall. 121.50 selected.
Set QNH 1016. Okay, I'm gonna put some speed brakes in just to get that speed down to 210.
Cargo 151, leave D1208 heading 005. Expect radar vectors for ILS Zulu runway 19er.
Leave Delta 120 Hotel heading 005. Cargo 151.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is secured for landing.
You can take your seats now. We're almost ready.
No problem.
Okay, so after this waypoint, we continue. Well, actually, as soon as we start turning, I'm going to go into heading select. So we get onto 005 heading. Right to 355 degrees and descend 3,100 feet, cargo 151.
Negative, QNH 1030.
QNH 1030, cargo 151. Set heading 355.
Cargo 151, descend to 3,000 feet.
355, set.
Descend to 3,000 feet, cargo 151. That's a bit random because that's what we were already doing, but okay. This vector looks like it's going to be pretty tight. So we should be a little more to the right. There's the airport. See, because if she keeps us going here, this turn is going to be tight. So, I think we anticipate that. They didn't give us any speed, so we start slowing down. Let's get some flaps out now. I think just as we pass these hills here, she's going to give us a pretty tight left turn. Flaps 5.
Speed checked. 1 to go.
Cargo 151, turn right, heading 030.
Right to 030, cargo 151.
Flaps 5.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Now I kind of want a left turn. We're set up for it. Now we're leveling off. Come on, give us a left turn. Left to 020, cargo 151. Okay, we need more of a turn than that. Where is she taking us? Cape Town approach, cargo 151, request direct to fix.
Cargo 151, turn left, heading to 90.
Never mind. Left 290, cargo 151.
Aircraft calling for direct to, stay call sign.
151.
Cargo 151, Roger. C6 name.
Charlie India 19 for cargo 151.
Cargo 151, you broke up. See
Knocking
again,
away.
six name.
So yeah, that actually is part of the star. Sorry, it's part of the LLS.
You broke up. See again, 6 name.
Disregard cargo 151. I don't think that's gonna work. We can't cancel this.
Cargo 151.
Yeah.
I didn't get the 6 name. Say again.
Cargo 151, request heading.
Cargo 151, you broke up. Say again, 6 name.
Okay. Beyond ATC is now broken. So I'm gonna do my own vectors here.
Cargo 151, Cape Town.
Okay, I'm just gonna switch over to tower frequency, and we'll contact them once we're established. So they really need like a cancel request or disregard option, so that when you get into that situation, you can just say never mind, basically. Anyway, things are looking good. A little bit hazy, but nothing that concerns us. We're still 180 knots, so that's fine. Glide slope is way above us. We are on the localizer. Now this time with FS Crew, I need to see if I can get the approach checklist to work, because the last time it wouldn't actually run for some reason. So I think I might have missed a command or some sort of call out at some point. So next obviously would be gear and flaps 15 and then flaps 30. We could do flaps 25 and then 30. Probably go straight to 30. Once the glide slope indicator starts coming down, we'll slow down to 160 knots and do gear and flaps. It's a little airport there. Which airport is that? Is that Morningstar? It's not actually on. Oh, it's not actually on Navigraph, but I think it's Morningstar. Okay, there comes the glide slope. Set speed 160.
160 set.
Gear down, flaps 15.
Gear down.
Flaps 50.
Speed checked. Flaps 15.
Final approach fix, 3,000 feet, no flags.
Altitude checked, no flags.
Approach checklist. Yeah, see, it just doesn't run. And FS2 crew picks up that I'm saying approach checklist and then just doesn't do anything.
Checked.
2,500.
Approach checklist. Set speed 143.
143. Set.
Flaps 30.
Speed checked.
Tower cargo 151 on the ILS runway 19. Good, beyond ATC, totally broken. Cool. Landing checklist to flaps.
Landing checklist to flaps. Start switches.
Continuous.
Recall.
Checked.
Speed brake.
Armed green light.
Landing gear.
Down 3 green.
Auto brake.
1 set.
Flaps.
30-30 green light.
Holding out landing lights.
1,000.
On.
Landing checklist completed.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50. 30.
Minimums.
20. 10.
Speed brake up. Auto brake disarmed. Reverse at north. 7, 4%. 100 knots. 80 knots. 60 knots.
Jeez, I floated forever there because I got a bit distracted by the geese from SoFly's Animals pack, which we seem to fly straight through on short final. So that's interesting. Part of me was wondering if one of the engines would go bang. That did not happen. Okay, no ATC because beyond ATC is given up. So we will simply taxi into our gate. welcome to Cape Town International. Okay, after landing, everything is done. Well, that's the first major kind of meltdown I've had with Beyond ATC. I mean, I guess it was my fault. I requested it fixed, but it doesn't count that as a fix, so I didn't have any options to send it to. Anyway, not the end of the world. Beautiful morning here in Cape Town, although a little chilly, 15 degrees. Going on with those jetways? That's a bit weird. Oh, they're just missing that piece, I think. Oh right, this is a default airport. Okay, this one's got all the kit, so we'll take this one. Okay, there we go, so we can now shut down. APU is on the bus, so that's cool. So we'll do engines. This can come off now, so can that. And those.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Clear enough. 4 out of 5.
Roger. Okay, Captain. Ground power is available. Stand by. We'll start getting you offloaded in a couple of minutes.
Roger. Cabin crew, the aircraft is secure. Please open the doors when ready and begin deboarding.
Okay, last thing I need to do is 2000.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed your flight today, and I'd like to wish you a safe onward journey. We'll see you again soon. Thank you for flying with us.
Transit shutdown checklist.
Electrical.
On APU. On APU.
Fasten belts.
Off.
Probe heat.
Off.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Voice recorder.
On.
Air conditioning packs.
Auto.
Engine bleeds.
On.
APU bleed.
Off.
Exterior lights.
Set and checked.
Start switches.
Off.
Auto brake.
Off.
Speed brake.
Down detent.
Flaps.
Up no lights.
Parking brake.
Set.
Start levers.
Cut off.
weather radar.
Off.
Transponder.
2000 standby.
CVRCV.
In.
Cockpit door.
Unlocked.
Transit shutdown checklist completed.
Right, there we are, completed. There's a couple more passengers left to disembark. Right, but that is a terrible view. Okay, that's a little bit better. Right, that's going to bring us to the end of our flight from East London down to Cape Town. It's a pity Beyond ATC wasn't with us for the landing, let's put it that way, but it was also kind of my fault. So, not too stressed about that. Otherwise, another cool flight for Safair and another cool flight in the PMDG 73700. So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you did make it to this part of the video, I really do appreciate it. And if you did enjoy it, you know what to do down below, and I'll see you in the next one.